Hey guys, I'm here at the story. This story is called The 19-Cent Income Check. How did he get a check so big? That's what I want to know. I never got one that big. 19 cents. Let's read it and see. Again, I asked my husband. Frustration laced my question. He had received notice that a new management company was taking over, and they no longer needed him. This made 10 different employers for him in the past 12 years. Somewhere toward the end of the revolving job door, my husband applied for an all-commission position with an insurance company. They hired him. On the way to an appointment, he ran a red light and another driver collided into him. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but our blue Buick Skyhawk was totaled. We purchased a new red Dodge truck with the modest insurance money. The kids loved it. They played inside the cab any time my husband was home. We were relieved to have another vehicle without going into debt. Within weeks, however, the truck broke down and had to be towed. I raced to pick him up and drove him to the next appointment with the 3 kids in tow. The repair and tow truck bills gnawed away at our savings account, but we had our vehicle back. With spirits up somewhat, my husband drove off to go through this breakdown, towing the repair cycle 2 more times. With these bills, the upfront cost, and the new job, and me not working, our savings leaked like a metal sieve. With every expenditure, our emotions crumbled a bit more. One week we received a 19-cent commission check. It cost more for the employer to mail the envelope than the check was worth. We despaired over the check, as it was a visible reminder of our current condition. I filed it away, too embarrassed to cash it, but not confident enough to toss it. We had participated in a Crown Financial Ministries Bible study the first year of our marriage and had applied to biblical principles in our finances. Our only debt was on the house, and we had started with a savings balance, committing to staying out of debt, but with income to pay our recurring bills. We cracked down on any expense we could control. Mom's day out and preschool for the kids were no longer options. We celebrated birthdays at home, creating our own kid-picked themes and activities. I ironed and starched my husband's work shirts. We purchased clothes in thrift stores. My husband ate lunch at a cafe near his work that served baked potatoes, that offered kids eat-free nights. My husband and I eat the kids' leftovers. With the demands of 3 small children and our financial plight, the pressures bled into our marriage. One Sunday, while despondently hovering like a black cloud, we heard a sermon on fasting. Both of us committed to pray and fast weekly until our financial burdens eased. Once a week, we denied ourselves food for a 24-hour period. In the beginning, I'd complain slightly in my mind, "Why are we going through this, Lord? Why aren't you answering our prayers?" I'd beg God to bring my husband clients. We'd get on our knees during the dinner hour and pray. Over and over, we'd ask God to increase our income and free us from our monetary burdens. During this trial, God revealed insight into our relationship with Him. We discovered we trusted our bank account more than we trusted Him. When the balance was high, we were proud and in good spirits. When the balance plummeted, we were stressed and burdened. We transitioned from begging for money to asking God to show us how to trust Him more. We asked for forgiveness in our misguided worship for money. We stepped out in faith and gave money to our church, even though income was scarce. During this same time, God directed me to encourage my husband. I checked out hope-filled tapes from the church library for him to listen to. I left notes in his briefcase. "I love you. We will get through this. This is just a momentary affliction. My husband kept pounding the pavement for clients. We always had food on our table and a roof over our heads. As the days stretched into weeks and weeks into months, I fretted and wondered if God wanted us to remain indefinitely in this financial position. We continued to fast, though, and God displayed glimpses of his faithfulness. Church members sent their kids outgrown clothes and toys to us. A hospital bill for $1,000 came after the birth of our third child, but a refund check for the exact amount appeared unexpectedly from a doctor's office the next week. Well, that's a miracle right there. That's from God. My mom and dad, unaware of our financial struggles, found themselves in a better financial position and sent us money because they'd been unable to pay for our wedding several years earlier. I say, God's helping you, girl. They felt led to give us money now. God's giving you help, girl. You just got to recognize it. Still, our pitiful savings account told the real story. One day, after our truck broke down for the third time, a church member called me. We chatted for a while, and then she shifted to the purpose of her call. She and her husband had purchased a new car and wanted to bless someone by giving away their old one. When they asked God who needed a car, our name kept coming up. She paused and asked, "Do you need a car?" See, now you're getting a car. She went on to tell me that the make and model and the year she purchased, so on. But I didn't hear another word she said. My thoughts bounced all over my mind. Is this a prank? Could this really be happening? Did she say she wants to give us a car? Interrupting the fog of my thoughts, she said, "There is one thing you should know before you say yes. The car has standard transmission. Do you know how to drive a stick shift?" "Yes, I can drive a stick shift." I hung up the phone, dropped to the floor, and bawled. After blowing my nose a few times, I called my husband and cried again. Later that afternoon, I laughed, something I hadn't done in a while. We need a car so bad. I so wish somebody would do that for us. God's helping her so much. She should see how much he's helping her. Oh my gosh. People sending her money, giving her a car. Hospital sending her money. Her mom's sending her money. Somebody giving her a car. Oh my goodness. God's helping her so much. Wake up and see it. That car lasted 5 more years. By then we were better positioned to afford another used vehicle. A van to hold our growing family of 5. Because of the couple's example and God's kindness and generosity, we've been able to give away 2 of our used cars since that time, an action I never could have imagined. I finally did throw away the 19-cent check. I wish I kept it, though, as a reminder of what our God can do. Families grow to 5. Yep, need that van. I'd like to watch the 5 little kids. I miss watching the 5 little kids. I used to babysit the kids, all the kids when they were little. I had like 5 and 6 at a time, watching them all together. It was a handful, I tell you, but I loved it.
Know that?
Hold on. What?
Somebody do that for us.
I know. I had 5 of them. 5 of them. 5 of them at a time. Sometimes 6. But I loved it. But it was a handful watching all that. And they were babies. They were babies. Like toddlers running around. And they're all running in different directions. I was younger then. And able to do, run after them and things. My niece and nephews and my dad's girlfriend's kids, and the youngest one, she's going to be 18 this year, so none of them's babies anymore. I don't got no babies anymore. I don't got a baby to watch anymore. I don't got no little ones. Well, I'll let you guys go, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys.